Good morning. Welcome to Peace House. This is our Saturday morning and sangha. We do this every Saturday at 8:30 in the morning. For those who are not able to come to Peace House during the weekdays because of other commitments, we like to offer this morning time on Saturday so that you have some spiritual practice during the weekend and you start to continue your practice and also make a meaningful connection with a spiritual community like Peace House and have an ongoing practice. So, with these intentions in mind, we have started our Saturday morning or weekend meditation and sangha, and welcome all for this guided meditation and Dhamma chat session. So, to begin with, let's pay homage to the Buddha by putting your palms together and saying Namo Tassa three times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened Samma Sambuddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, this morning, as a Dhamma reflection, I wanted to also talk about who are the roots, the branches, and the leaves in your life. This is something I have recently come across, and this can give us some reflections in life and understanding our relationships, connections. And you can do so by looking at a tree. Now, we have many, many trees in life, and this tree analogy, just imagine a tree that has roots deeply connected with the earth, the ground, and then there's a strong you, that is your tree trunk and branches, and also this tree has leaves. And you can study the tree and see what it is like to live like a tree in this life and see how some people are connected to the tree, just like the leaves, branches, and the roots. How some people are connected to you, just like the leaves, branches, and the roots. So some people come into your life and they are like leaves on a tree. They are only there for a season. You can't depend on them or count on them because they are weak and only there to give you shade. They are useful. Like leaves, they are there to take what they need, and as soon as it gets cold or a wind blows in your life, they are gone. You can be angry at them, it is just who they are. And these are called leaf people in your life. And now, branch people, there are some people who come into your life and they are like branches on a tree. They are stronger than leaves, but you have to be careful with them. They will stick around through most seasons, but if you go through a storm or two in your life, it is possible that you could lose them. Most times they break away when it is tough. Although they are stronger than leaves, you have to test them out before you run out of there and put all your weight on them. In most cases, they can't handle too much weight. But again, you can't be mad with them. It's just who they are. Root people. If you can find some people in your life who are like the roots of a tree, then you have found something special. Like the roots of a tree, they are hard to find because they are not trying to be seen. Their only job is to hold you up and help you live a strong and healthy life. If you thrive, they are happy. They stay low key and don't let the world know that they are there. And if you go through an awful storm, they will hold you up. Their job is to hold you up, come what may, and to nourish you, feed you, and water you. Just as a tree has many limbs and many leaves, there are few roots. Look at your own life. How many leaves, branches, and roots do you have? What are you in other people's lives? This tree analogy is from Tyler Perry and has become popular in internet as people share about this, talk about it in social media. And they talk about, who are the leaves, who are the branches, who are the roots, in my life, in someone's life. So as a monk, I have my teachers, roots in my life. I go to them, I show respect to them, and I have respect toward them. And a very deep, they have added very deep meaning into my life. They also know where I live, what I do. They, in the beginning, they nourish and they continue to nourish us throughout the life. But later on, when we become better at what we do, they also come seeking our advice for the things that they do in their lives. My teacher has a monastery and he has ordained about 50 students. And when these students go through challenging situations, my teacher reach out to me and say, discuss about these things. He never need advice, but he just like to discuss about these things. How to punish or how to nourish, how to look after these young monks. And this way, there is this generational awareness of what is going on within the monastery, what is going on within the community. And sometimes, when these students are punished, what my teacher does is that when they are mischievous, sometimes all the other monks expect that my teacher will send them away back to homes or to other monasteries to where they come from. But my teacher keeps them and sometimes send the good ones away. So the good ones are good ones and that they can survive anywhere with their own goodness in their own life, that they have that goodness within the heart, within the heart. This is a great thing about my teacher, that he keeps the ones who needs training. He does not worry about those who don't need much training because they are good already. It's those who don't need much training that that he doesn't have to worry about. It's those who do need much training, who behave badly, are the ones he keep training them more and more until he feels like they have established themselves strongly and are able to survive out there without any issue. So sometimes these young novice monks tend to find a secret way to do things when they are told not to do it. This is the way of children. So my teacher looks at them compassionately, occasionally punishing them. How does he punish? He assigns them chores within the monastery, weeding the garden, or looking after an elderly monk. These are punishments, making a little garden out there, and sometimes cleaning some places, the kitchen or the shrine hall or shrine room, and this way he gets to think about what he has done, and he also gently feel like there is some correction being done within his life. And other times, my teacher would say, go to the cats and stroke them 50 times, because he that novice monk needs little loving kindness. Sometimes these novice monks come and say, I broke a rule, but don't be too harsh on your life. Live by the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. These rules are there for the convenience of all the monks. If you happen to break one, such as eating after the noonday meal, that you are hungry and that you are still learning about, sometimes you may be sick, that you have an illness, so you feel like your body needs some energy, so you eat, but then you start regretting about it, and then you go to your teacher and confess and say, I have done this. But then the teacher says, go stroke the cats, a little gently, 50 times. That way you start feeling loving kindness here in your heart. And you start nourishing that feeling. So this evening I will go to Tufts Medical, just this same attitude. I'm invited to visit a Cambodian family who are seeking a monk from their tradition, from the Theravada tradition. And yesterday I went to the CVS and I met this pharmacist. She called me Bhante. Uh, and I was surprised. And I said, we have this peace house here. And she said, I'm a Mahayana. But I said, we are not representing any institute. We are open for all the traditions. Then she asked for the address, and I gave her the details. And this way we have a meaningful connection, and hopefully she will come visit us And then another day, recently, I went to the convenience store to use Western Union, and they had this Nepali young lady and her husband. Is husband or a friend. He is a Buddhist, and she wanted to come to this place. And so I brought a brochure the other day, and then she was not there. But this way we somehow go back to these people and look for uh, ways to give them a meaningful connection. So with these CVS and then convenience store analogy, these people are looking for or somehow connected with a spiritual home. And I remember when in 2013 I was practicing in Dhammasukha Meditation Center in St. Louis, and Bante Samit and I are going on retreat to Dhammasukha Meditation Center. It's a 108 acres forest meditation center. People come and spend 10 days practicing loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and altruistic joy there. And at the end of one of the retreats, this lady uh, gave me a card with a donation. And then she had written in there, I still remember this quote: "You have a special place in the tree of my life. You have a high place, a special place in the tree of my life, and you are seated in this high place. And I will continue to show respect to you and keep this meaningful spiritual connection going, growing as well." So this comes to my life as I think of the spiritual, meaningful connections that we nourish and cultivate in life. For her, I become someone who is a meaningful connection, that I am seated in a branch. It's funny that sometimes you don't sit in a branch, like in a chair, but we climb up and we like to sit and observe what is going on, like in the bird's eye view, and see what is going on out there. And sometimes we need to climb up like a mountain, climbing up a mountain and observing what is going on. This is an analogy of the Buddha, observing what is happening out there in the village. Is everyone safe? Is there a landslide happening? Is there lava coming toward us? And now you are still on top of a branch or on top of a mountain, observing where they need help, and if you need to run, if you need to protect yourself from some dangers that are coming your way. So, in this way, the tree analogy comes handy. And this tree analogy also made me think of the Buddha's statement, Arogya Paramalabha Santuddhi Paramang Dhanam Visasa Paramanyati Nibbanang Paramang Sukhang. Arogya Paramalabha, health. With health, you can enjoy all the gains in life. Without good health, you are not able to enjoy any gains in life. Santutti Paramandana. If you are happy, if you are content, that is the highest wealth. Whether you are materially wealthy or poor, you can be content. That contentment is the highest wealth. Visasa Paramanyati. This is the tree analogy part. Slightly different way as presented by the Buddha. Visasa Paramanyati. The relationships are built based on trust. When you have a strong relationship, it may be that they are related to you by blood and maybe not, but you can trust these people. And that is where relationships are built. Sometimes some people never talk to their siblings for the rest of their life, but they talk to trusted friends. Sometimes you feel like they are frenemies, that you have an enemy and a friend in there. When you identify this, kind of move away from that person that you don't feel a connection in your heart. And these connections take time to grow like roots in a tree. So, relationships, you know, in Sri Lanka, we say, Nayoi Veyoi Durimma Durukarandone. That means the termites and relatives should be kept away from you. Termites can, get into your furniture and destroy them. This is why we need to identify these and take what is needed from that kind of relatives and maybe only reach out to them when you need help. I know this doctor's family who migrated from Canada to US, to a different state in the US, because all the relatives were putting her down, saying, "You can't be a doctor in your life, you will never get work." But she did get work. She came to receive counseling from me, and I encouraged her to, focus on her own strengths and reach out to Asian doctors who were kind to her and gave her a residency. Now she is finishing her residency and she is looking for real work, more work out there. Sometimes these relatives, although they are related to you by blood, they may not be actually related to you in a positive circle in your life. So we need to put them maybe a little far from your life, because heart to heart connection is all not always there, right? And the Buddha said, Nibbanang Paraman Sukham. That's the last line of that verse. The highest blessing is letting go, complete letting go of any existence, any attachment. If you let go a little, you have a little happiness. If you let go somewhat more, you have somewhat more happiness. If you let go completely, you have complete happiness. Isn't that amazing now that, you looked at four aspects of your life? When you have good health, you enjoy material gains in your life. You live in a house, you have a vehicle, you have properties. Only when you have good health, you enjoy them. This is about physical health. This was told to King Kosala, who had an addiction, a food addiction. He was overweight and he was eating too much. He went to the Buddha and said, I have this problem. And then the Buddha said, Manujasa sada sati mato matang janato ladda bhojani tanudassa bhavanti vedana sanikam jirati ayupalana. To a man who is constantly mindful, knowing the quantity of life, quantity of food, limit of food, thinner becomes their health issues. Sanikanjirati, the food begins to digest slowly when you eat less. The body knows how to store that food and digest slowly, and it also gives a good lifespan. Ayupalana. This was told to a king, and the king followed this advice. He started being mindful about his food intake, and he had great physical health. He lost weight and he was able to manage with a little practice of mindfulness. And then the mental health, contentment is the highest wealth. That is about mental health. When you feel you are stressed about something, look, are you content in your life? Is this person adding stress to me? Is this person giving trouble to me? And is this duty that I'm doing, is it uh, burning my skin, giving me skin rashes and acne and issues that I'm not, worthy of? And you can let go of these people. I know this nutritionist. She's a doctor in one of the hospitals I worked as a spiritual care provider. When she went through a divorce, she started having skin rashes. And she began doing meditation and yoga, and the rashes vanished. Anytime she goes through very tough situations, she sees that these rashes recur. Now she has meditation and yoga as part of her life, and she does not have the recurring rashes in life. So contentment, not putting you through too much stress, can give you a balanced state of your life. Happiness is an inner job. Happiness comes when you let go. And that is about mental health. This is how the Buddha addressed mental health. And what did he say about social health? Visasa paramanyati. Being able to trust someone, and that is the best relationship, not blood relationship. The best relationship comes from trust. When you can trust someone, when they are sincere, that they don't have anything to hide, they are humble to you, and that they also help you improve qualities in your life. And you can be vulnerable. You can seek advice, and they disappear after, nourishing you with good advice. This is about social health. This is about leaf people, branch people, and root people in your life. Root people always hold you when you are about to collapse. And that's amazing when you know this, that you can always go back to root people, that they don't expect anything from you. They don't squeeze you until they get the essence out from you. That's a terrible analogy, but that's the case about some people. There are takers, and these takers have no limit. They always come to you with their problems. But there are givers. These givers don't have to set limits because they know when to give. They give wisely and they don't expect anything when they give. That kind of giver, they only give and they let go. They forget about it. Even the left hand doesn't know that the right hand gave something. That kind of giving, you don't even expect anything from that kind of a person. You give having let go of it. There you build a strong spiritual connection. And last, the Buddha said, letting go completely is the best relief. And you know that the inevitable happens. The root people, they disappear from your life, but you move on, knowing that the truth is that they disappear, but life has to happen. And we make a meaningful life out of all the learnings. And with that, I invite you to observe root people, branch people, and leaves, seasonal ones, in your life in this guided meditation. Let's begin to meditate now. You will hear the sound of the gong and begin calming down. You may close your eyes and come to a meditation posture that supports you for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Notice where your breath is. Apply mindfulness to your inhaling and exhaling. As you apply mindfulness, you may pause and go to release and relax any tension, any tightness, anywhere in your body. Notice that the body tells you where to adjust, being gentle and kind to your body. You do so. You do adjust your body, your limbs, your knees. Release and relax from the crown of your head down to the toes, your forehead, your face, back of your head, your neck, shoulders, your back, your chest, sitting bones, your abdomen, thighs and knees, muscles below your waistline, your knees, the shin bones, the soles of your feet, your toes, your connection with the ground established, not needing to change. If you have to change your posture, you may do so with mindfulness and kindness. You may now come back to the center of your being, your breath, life provider, life support. taking a deep breath in and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. This is four methods whenever you feel distracted, you can use. Recognize that you are distracted. Release any tension and tightness because of the distraction. Return to the object of your meditation and repeat. These are called 4 R's. Recognize, release, return, repeat. This will help you cultivate wholesome qualities. And this happens so quickly, in a millisecond. And you are back with the object of your meditation. Just do the 4 R's regularly. Recognize, release, relax, return. Recognize that you are distracted. Release tension and tightness. Return to the object of meditation and repeat. Continuously applying wisdom to your practice, it helps you see that your mind is able to manifest, an ear to hear, an eye to see, and they also cease. There's no pre-existing eye, there's no pre-existing ear. Although we are fooled, deceived by a physical eye, physical ear, physical nose, these are only tools that they can't experience the world outside without the mind's involvement. So there is eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, mind consciousness. These arise dependently, and we see with our eyes closed, not with our eyes open. We see with our eyes closed that the dependently arising eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, they also cease. They have such transient nature. With that understanding, look at your relationships, friendships, properties, body. Anytime things can happen and take this away from you. Your health can collapse. Properties may be seized, gone, that you become poor or rich. It doesn't matter. Things are so transient. You may lose your friendships, relationships. Equanimity has a bigger role. Knowing the truth, we come closer to the reality without keeping a gap between reality and what may happen out there in the world. And how it affects us shows how far we have gone, how far we have traveled the path. The path appears as we travel in this spiritual journey, but we live normal lives. Before enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. And after enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. Your daily life does not change even after enlightenment. Your understanding, your perspective of life and things have changed. More wisdom you cultivate, more peace you attract. When you let go a little, you see greater happiness. The Buddha says, Jahe mattan sukhang dhiro sampasang vipulang sukhang. Seeing greater happiness, greater relief, a wise person, dhiro, let go of lesser happiness, lesser comfort, temporary happiness. Bodily happiness, sensual pleasures are temporary. Wiser you become, more wisdom tells you that these temporary happinesses are very minor. Arriving at wisdom gives you stability and wisdom to let go I, me, and myself. It's not my grandchild, It's not my son, it's not my wife. They have their own struggles in life. We can only be a blessing, or we can also be a pain in their lives. And they pull out our anger. It may be that we are conditioned in such a way that these people are so good to us that anger does not show up. This is why we should constantly wish, may I be free from anger. What a beautiful heart that will be when you are completely free from anger. Now you silently cultivate more wisdom, more and more wisdom. With that comes rain, recognizing, accepting, identification gone, and never minding. May rain come to you. May wisdom come to you. Acceptance come to you. The gap between expectation and reality be thinner to you. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Now over to you for silent sitting on your own. May Samadhi arise in you and give you tranquility, calmness, joy, gladness, peace, wisdom, letting go. You will hear the gong and you may end your meditation by coming out of your meditation now and joining your palms to make a wish. May the suffering ones be suffering free. Fear struck, fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief. May all beings be at ease. Dukkha pattacha nidukkha. Bhayapattacha nibbhaya. Sokapattacha nissoka. Untu sabbepi panino. Have a wonderful weekend and be safe, be well, be kind, and smile and enjoy the nature, enjoy the sun. Bye bye.